Girlfriend acting strange about things after finding out I'm not actually rich. So this is kind of complicated. Basically, I, 25 meters, have a sister from my mother's previous marriage. My awesome sister, 35F, didn't have any relationship with her bio dad or much of his family during my lifetime. Her dad sounds like an absolute monster that no one wanted in their life, including his own parents. My sister's grandparents. Her grandfather passed away about 6 years ago and he was a very, very wealthy man. Her grandma had passed away a few years before that. Everything was left to my sister and her aunt. Her father got nothing and tried to sue my sister, and it was a whole thing I don't know much about. But from what I understand, my sister won the case. My sister is amazing. She has been more than generous with her inheritance. I don't talk too much about money or the situation, and it rarely comes up. I can see how from the outside it now appears me and my parents are wealthy. My sister bought my parents a nice house in an expensive area. She helped out our dad. Our dad is our dad to both of us. He has been her dad since she was less than a year old. Start his own business instead of being an employee. He makes about the same, but now he has much more freedom. He is not rich. The house I live in is one of the properties my sister inherited. It's a nice suburban kinda home that most people my age would not be able to afford. I certainly couldn't. My sister lets me live there for free. She also inherited a cottage property on a lake. My family never would have been able to afford that. My parents and I use basically whenever we want, as awesome sister lives in the city and rarely uses it. Sorry for all this, but I think it matters. I actually met my girlfriend at the cottage through mutual friends I had up there one weekend before the pandemic. Anyways, like I said, I don't really go around explaining to people about my sister or my family's money or that I live in her house for free. Maybe if it comes up, which I guess it finally did in detail. My girlfriend was going to have a girls' weekend that they I guess did every year before the pandemic, where they would normally rent like a lake house for the weekend. She asked me to ask my parents if they could use the cottage. I kinda laughed as it is not my parents and said it was fine as no one would be up there. She was kind of confused and I said that it actually belonged to my sister. After finding this out, she has asked more questions. At one point she said something about selling my house and moving more downtown into the city. She was pretty weirded out when I explained I don't own this house. Then more questions. She was obviously under the impression that my parents and I are rich. She was also kind of annoyed that I didn't inherit anything. I explained that they were not my grandparents and I only ever met them a couple times and that they probably knew awesome sister would hook me up. We also go on vacations, etc. on awesome sister's dime. She pays for all of us to go on trips together. I don't see her that much. Or at least as much as I'd like to, because she spends a lot of time traveling and her girlfriend is from France and they spend a lot of time there. Ever since she found out we're not rich, I can't help feeling like she's disappointed or something. I don't really have anyone in my life I want to bring it up with because I feel like they'd automatically think she's a gold digger. How can I figure out if she was attracted to money I don't have? I feel so defeated. Mate, I've read your post and comments. What are you trying to figure out? She is asking about your salary. Is rude about your extremely generous sister. Was happy to get by on what she assumed was your parents' money. Why on earth would you think she is anything but a gold digger? She's after the money. She's made it abundantly clear. Do you not think you deserve more than someone who wants you for your perceived money? Do you not think your sister deserves better than to be insulted like this? Cut this off. Well, I get why they would think that she's a gold digger. I mean, if she's acting disappointed ever since she found out you're not rich, I'm not sure what other conclusion there is. If you never talked about it before, and you never lied about it, then she has nothing to be mad about. UHOH. Better watch out for her trying to seduce your sister next. Just based on this post, I would have been like, yeah. It's kind of tacky to react like that when there are no plans to merge finances, but I get being confused when someone's level of financial stability is totally different than what it initially seemed, but based on the additional info in the comments, she sounds very entitled to money that has nothing at all to do with her. If she stays with you, it will probably be because she thinks she'll be able to be the devil on your shoulder and convince you to milk more money out of your sister. You feel she is one because she is one. I'm curious how long you've been with your girlfriend that she felt comfortable enough floating the idea of you selling your house to move somewhere else. The whole being annoyed you didn't inherit anything is a red flag emo. Because, like, who is she to be annoyed about anyone else's inheritances or lack thereof? That's a very weird position to take. Frankly, I'm 58 years old and have never once felt annoyed about anyone's inheritances ever. Why would she think a virtual stranger should have left you money? Ever since she found out we're not rich, I can't help feeling like she's disappointed or something. FFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFFffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffffff I thought you could provide a future for me where I didn't need to work. I bet that's what she was thinking. To give her the benefit of the doubt, she might just have been surprised by what you told her. She may not have been with you just because she thought you were rich. Though she obviously liked that she thought you had money. But saying your sister is greedy is a big red flag. It sounds like your sister is very generous and has been very good to your whole family. Your girlfriend implying otherwise is a bad sign, and I suspect she will be a negative influence in your life. She is jealous of your sister and will likely continue to speak negatively about her, or push you to ask your sister for things or money. You don't need that kind of influence in your life. I would proceed with caution or just end things. You and your family sound lovely. I have to say I feel disappointed that your GF is focused on the money your sister hasn't given you, rather than what seems like a solid family dynamic. She take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger way over town. That digs on me. She's a gold digger. You're not married, so it's not our house anyway, even if you owned it, lol. I'd leave her. I think from your initial post, I might give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was just thrown off by the fact that she didn't know any of this. However, her being annoyed that your sister's grandparents that aren't related to you didn't leave you money? Blaming your incredibly amazing sister who didn't need to do any of the generous things she did? Judging you over not paying rent, not getting paid much when you're only 25? Planning to sell off what she believed was your parents' house? I'm sorry. I know you've been together since 2019, so I guess 2 or 3 years now. But I think you've got to find someone else who actually appreciates the awesome family you've got, and not the money your sister has. You've said enough. You laid out the situation. There doesn't need to be more discussion of your sister's finances. Your own finances might be fair game to share with a partner. But you don't answer for your sister. Nor should you. There have been too many questions already. Talking about selling your house was already ridiculous. As if she had a say in the matter. Talking about how your sister should have dealt with her own money when she's already been more than generous is even more ridiculous. Unfortunate as it is, your girlfriend assumes far too much on money which isn't hers. The only appropriate reaction to finding out your story is to be excited your sister is so awesome to you, and thank her profusely as well. Pretend you had a big fight with your sister and are getting kicked out and see if she will let you stay with her. Go so far as to pack a bag and show up at her place. But seriously, if my GF said anything snotty about my sister that is as awesome as you say, I wouldn't have to test her at all. She would be gone. At first read she does sound like she was after your money, but at the same time she did question you living there rent-free. The fact that she has an issue with you not paying rent actually makes her seem like a non-parasite. She also told you that none of this changes anything. You also said that this money conversation came up while discussing about your future together. Maybe, just maybe she is having trouble processing new information about you and the fact that she does not know you well enough, need time to understand your family dynamics, about change of plans and where to live together later, etc. Some people are not very good in understanding family relationships, or for that matter any experiences that they themselves have not gone through. It would be good for you to have an open, honest conversation with her instead of making assumptions from her initial reaction. I guess this is why people say that every couple should discuss finances before getting married. If she really is after your money, then, well, unfortunately it's time to part ways. Wish you well. I think it's weird you've been with someone for nearly 3 years and you never told them whether you're renting, own your own house, who is paying for your holidays, etc. I feel like that's something that would come up within the first week. It sounds like you've intentionally kept her in the dark about where the money is coming from, because you were worried this would happen, and now it has. It depends. I think surprise, a certain degree of disappointment is okay. She assumed something and it wasn't true. It takes time to process. It all depends on how she moves forward. Have you talked to her about your feelings? My biggest concern right now would be your GF interacting with your sister at some point. If she says sister should have split it with you even after knowing that you had no connection with the grandfather, and was upset about it, then when she talks with your sister I would be worried. She does not see the generosity, just the entitlement. And that could slip into a conversation or action. I know you said sister is often away, but you know what I mean. Frankly, I would have a small talk with your sister. Explain what happened so she isn't surprised, and explain how much you appreciate her. Don't let GF bring this drama to sister's generous doorstep. Then have a good talk with GF and lay things out and set some expectations on how you expect her to treat sister's generosity as a gift, not a right. I'd just be irritated that I hardly know you. I'd want to know if my boyfriend owns or doesn't own something. If he's renting, what are his ambitions and current job?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.